Back at the bus, back at it again with another episode recap of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. This is the season finale. Look, man, let's start it off. We finally got Breeze. It's the main thing that everybody's been focused on.
Shabriz. My boy Shabriz Moore.
Shabriz Moore is disgusting. I hate everything about that name.
It's
And
him. That's who we dealing with. It's my boy
I mean it
Shabriz.
works. Everybody's telling me they can't see him not being Raekwon from the Wu-Tang story. That's basically what he's giving here. So I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. There's still something very Shamik Moore about seeing him. In this first appearance, it was felt like he was trying a little bit hard to impose himself as a figure on the show.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that kind of balances out in the next season, where obviously he's gonna get a lot more narrative, a lot more dialogue to work with. But yeah, I don't know. Very recognizable face. Going to
Yep.
have to do a bit of something to try and not be. I don't know how it wouldn't be typecast. I mean, it feels pretty much like every role that he's had outside of Miles Morales. Um, what was
Yeah.
the movie he made with ASAP? Was it
Dope.
Dope? Yeah, Dope. Get Down, obviously.
The Wu-Tang shit.
Wu Tang shit. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what it comes of. But it was definitely a shocking kind of opinion. Not a shocking, because I think we kind of heard the rumors about it maybe being him, but maybe jarring is the right term to use. It was a little, gives you pause for the cause.
Facts. Facts. Obviously Breeze is supposed to be the link to Ghost and Tommy. I mean, I'm not seeing it. Maybe because this should
Like,
make
man,
more.
if he's Breeze and that's who brings Ghost and Tommy along, I can only imagine how corny James about to come in looking like. I can only imagine how he about to look coming into the situation. But yeah, man, season 5 is going to be a big season for them. We'll be
Sure.
able to expand on some of these earlier character relationships that we had only heard about. Now we'll be
Hmm.
able to, explore them full fledged. So I'm here for it. I don't know. Shamik Moore as Breeze is just still going to take some adjusting.
Facts. Agreed. Agreed. All right. So, I mean, with that being said, pretty much the rest of the show for me can be dumbed down to everybody just looks like idiots for one reason or another to me. I mean, we can go literally down the line from the family, the Thomas family, to supporting characters on the outside. None better to start with than Stefano, aka Tony Danza, agreeing
Yeah.
to take that meeting with Homeboy without any kind of contingency plan here. Like no
Well,
hitman on the roof, nothing.
the biggest I guess kind of whammy in that situation is that they literally were the architects of this entire squabble from jump. Right from jump, they too masterminded the death of Sam Berselli, and so that in turn led down to the trickle down effect that led Rock all the way to Stefano, and so on and so on. And then to hear them, you know, kind of play it how it felt like they were kind of doing it when it was Jersey versus New York, like kind of fighting a proxy war, but just doing that for appearances, right? Like
Mm,
not necessarily doing it out of angst, but doing it out of reputation sake. Reputation. I don't know why I had such a hard time saying reputation. For reputation's sake, just kind of convincing everybody that they were tough, essentially.
yeah.
Now, once again, we get a Mulianos reference. We got a million different ways to call black people niggas on here. I swear to God, we need to get our slur game up. Apparently, in the '90s,
Slaughter
'cause
game is crazy.
I'm just tired of being everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being everything underneath the sun in this quote unquote black show, and yet we got noodle niggas, we got those rigatoni niggas. those ravioli niggas. You know what
Those
I'm saying?
fettuccine
It's
motherfuckers.
it's just very basic. It's very basic. I needs to pick that up.
Facts. The linguine motherfuckers.
I'm tired of that. Like what? Meanwhile,
uh,
yeah, we're fighting the war through the Mulianos. Like, man, what? Excuse me?
right, right.
Your mother's a Muli.
Okay. I guess that leads us into unique. I mean, we've been kind of talking about this in the entire season. Unique has been doing a lot of reckless shit with no proof. And I think that just kind of comes to a head here. He's talked a little bit about obviously since he's got his girl back, he's talked about what needs to be done for her and her mom. And so they decided to get a henchman to take her mom to the hospital and take care of her and stuff. Like, dog, you didn't think that that's going to be a vulnerability at some point? You didn't think, hey, maybe somebody's going to take them en route to the hospital or some shit,
Man, you already said I ain't done for you or Jerome. So he said
which
that
is
was the best I
crazy.
can do, I guess. Nah, I mean, honestly, you kind of hit it. He's not working with a full deck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not working with a full deck. And so even from the instinct of trying to go so hard at Rock and her family, like man, you went down and you hit all the businesses, you shot at Marvin, like you taking big swings, like you can't be touched. And again, I guess we're just explaining all of this away as the mental capacity is not all the way there, or his inhibitions are lower. It just I guess kind of all plays into this idea that he's not right in the head somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I feel like we built Unique up to this point to be one of the best bigs that we've seen in power, and yet coming up short. At least ever since Ronnie dealt with him, he's been coming up short.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been in love with his arc per se. Coming back, it's one thing to have the whole, the beat death angle. It's also another thing to kind of making him an antagonist in that. But then to make him kind of like the B villain, well, that's where he was at before we left. So it just didn't feel like we leveled up at all, even
Facts.
in his return. Um,
Facts.
yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about. I think you mentioned Marvin. Let's talk about Marvin in that obviously the way that he ended up in the situation that he's in right now after dealing with early Tyler and his homeboy, after having Stefano
That's his
basically reach
cousin,
out and offer
Londell.
him Londell, and then basically after having Stefano extend his hand and say, "Hey, you should probably take this spot instead of Rock." For him to be where he is now is insanely crazy. And then also, obviously, his dealings with that little white girl and taking a moment from his issues and dealing with that is kind of crazy. But
I don't think it's that crazy. I think he had that girl on his mind this whole time. So she's been a priority. It just ain't like he can get there, when his schedule permits. He just kind of get there when he can.
yeah, she didn't even. She looked at him when he was in the car like, all right, well, we're dealing with this bullshit again. Like she didn't even seem happy to see Marvin. She's just like, bruh, like every time you come around, it's some bullshit.
I
I guess
didn't
it's
take it
not.
that
I
way.
guess she didn't say. She didn't obviously think that or say that, but it just when she looked at him, she just didn't seem. Maybe
I,
it's
I
because she's
think
going to
she
yet another foster family.
think
But
she let him know that she was all right, and this family looked decent as
they did
compared to what we were looking at
facts.
when he pulled up the last time. Um, I don't know. I mean, she could have been in the same spot that she was in before, before Marvin showed up. I don't think that was
No,
working out very well for her.
it was not, unfortunately. But aside from that, again, Marvin's kind of in this predicament with Stefano because he obviously didn't take the role that was offered to him from Stefano, and now
No,
He's
it was
got
big over
Stefano
with.
looking
And
at
I was like,
him.
we over with the whole deal. And when he said that, man, I was like, all right, man, that's something going on, man. Something not right. Now, what's interesting is after, Buddy pokes him in the park and turns out he didn't die, which is almost as stupid as the fact as what you said is showing up with absolutely no contingency, no plan.
Facts.
If this man tried to kill you. But I was thinking like, all right, well, maybe Snaps and Pop were involved in this, and that's what's kind of forcing his hand on all of this. Like he's like, all right, well, it's time to get Rock up out of here. Like I've played along with Rock long enough. I want my business to go back to the way it was. If you could just compensate me, Snaps and Pop, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. I wished better for Marvin this season, and I've wished better for Marvin
Some
since
slight
season 2.
regression. Some slight regression. I feel like we had did some real character development there. And this season we had a lot of reminiscent problems of old Marvin,
Yeah.
not really keeping his ducks in order, being too quick to pull the gun. A
Hmm.
lot of that type of stuff reared its ugly head for him, and unfortunately didn't lead to the best outcomes.
I think the worst part about that is he's been on this progression since season 2, since he had to deal in those other projects, then eventually got shot, and that wheelchair dude came and saved him,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like he's been on
Forgot all
this
about that.
progression since way back then, and for it to not pay off for him, just it sucks. It sucks to
Yeah,
see.
facts.
Lulu, man, ending up in the streets is just a failure. Ending up back in the streets when you had so much going for you in the music
I'm a
is
street nigga. I do street shit.
it's just a failure, man. Like I that alone just seems stupid to me. I just feel like you had a clear route to go. Even if your girl is gone, so what, man? You still got
Now you
something to do
sticking up
here.
mothers and their babies with a 38
You
and
know what I
and,
mean?
and Partisan Fontaine driving getaway.
Right. You know what's crazy about that is side note, I seen DNA tweet and I was like, damn dog, what happened to the group that they were working on? What happened to the other acts that they were looking to sign aside from Famous and Berilla? Like they just forgot about all of those.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The white dude, it was a white dude they was talking
Yep.
about. I think those plot lines went away. I think those were things that were mentioned lightly in the first couple of episodes, and then they literally went away at some point in the middle of the season. So,
Hey man, don't get me invested into things like that. And then why would you show me some shit if I couldn't have
oh, also, also, I mean, we still got season 5, and I don't think. Well, maybe he's done with the. He's got to be done with the record label stuff, right? Like, hopefully,
Yeah.
I guess. Guess
Yeah.
that's over with. But you never know.
We'll see. And then obviously, like you said, B Rilla in the car. I know he ain't got nothing to do and nowhere to go. He got to make some money somehow, but get out of the streets. Obviously,
Yeah,
you in the streets don't equal
success.
anything good.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Jukebox to me,
Juke,
we kind of
juke.
talked about this before with her teen angst. And yes, you are right. I do feel like some of it is coming from legitimate places. Looking at Rock side eye obviously comes from a good place because Rock lies to everybody. But at the same time, I feel like she's supposed to be the reasonable voice to Kanan. And at the same time, I do feel like she's allowed Kanan to kind of infiltrate her thinking process as well, which I don't necessarily like because obviously it leads us to Kanan's running the show now.
I
And
think
Kanan don't know up from right or up from down.
I think she's also looking at her own history with Rock. She explains it a little bit in the diner scene. Like everybody just thought I was just sitting around here, just believing and soaking up everything that y'all wanted me to soak up. But no, I seen y'all, and I seen you more than you probably know that I seen you. Like a lot of this stuff they came and talking about, he's not just imagining it. It didn't come out of nowhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
you are this person that he describes from time to time. I just don't necessarily think you did this one, but a lot of this circumstantial stuff is, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to Occam's razor this thing at some point. The most likely scenario, probably most common scenario, probably is the one that we're dealing with. And far too often, you've been the cause of this boy's misery. So, um,
Hmm.
that just kind of comes with the territory of making some of the moves that she's made. At the same time, I think even up until the point where Kanan pulled a gun on her, she was still trying to reason with him. And then whoever she called as he was leaving the apartment probably ends up saving Rock's life.
Hmm.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I don't think he actually pops her and we cut to black. We're not about to Tony Soprano this. It's not, first of all, it's not even the end of the series. So um yeah, I don't think it went down, but yeah, no, she's teetering, and I think that she's also kind of settling into the idea that this is what it is for her. Like there is nothing outside of this. Not because she can't, not because she's not able, but like she tells Aisha later on in the episode, my dad made a way for me. He changed his ways. He changed his perspective when he found out I was Lebanese, and he was a different person for me. He stayed, unlike my mom, unlike I lost my little snow bunny. So
Right.
he stayed in spite of all of that. And so if he needs that, I will be that for him. Like I will
Hmm.
sacrifice you know, whatever future that I may have outside of all of this bullshit to make sure that he's safe.
Yeah.
I mean, as ill advised as that is, that's a little bit more understandable than oh, I want to go out here and play gangster all season.
Sure. Sure. Um. Okay, so I mean that kind of leads us into what we were talking about as far as or where we should end up with Kanan and Rock at the end here, where Kanan decides to confront Rock and basically point the gun at her and say, you're the cause of everything bad, so you got to go. Ironic how every parent in the show has to meet the demise thanks to their son, but here we are.
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think both of them are stupid in different levels. I think obviously Kanan is ignoring the fact that he's basing all of this on very basic evidence. And I think Rock is maybe not the stupidest person here, but the fact that she ended up in this situation after everything she's gone through for these past few seasons is crazy.
I mean, Kanan's her son. There's really no way to prepare for your son pulling a gun on you. But
Facts.
on Kanan's side, yeah, it is blindness. It's a lot of bias. It's also a lot of unresolved hurt. Like she keeps taking people out of this man's life as she sees fit. And she doesn't even deal with him in a way that makes him feel like he's part of the situation. Like she does it behind his back and then tells him it was what was best for him. And so now he doesn't trust her at all,
Hmm.
which I mean a lot of us wouldn't trust an individual who did that to us constantly either. So it's a I guess it's an understandable accusation. It's the lack of evidence that you would like him to, really lean on when he's making a decision on whether or not it's reliable. And he's not at the moment. It doesn't make sense that she would kill Famous. You weren't working for her. There was nothing that Famous could tell about that on you.
Yeah.
Um, the Crystal thing. If she was gonna kill Crystal, why wouldn't she just kill her right there at the house when she came to visit her? Why would she have ever left to go to the bus stop?
Hmm.
I just don't know. I don't know. He's not really picking it up. He's also not looking in on Snaps and Pop. Snaps and Pop was speaking all this. Oh yeah, you and Unique, blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, their nephew get here, and Unique's temporary, and maybe we won't even be using him. It's really y'all too. Like, so if they said that about Unique after they just got done telling y'all was about to be this dynamic duo, then what are they saying about you when it's just them and their quote unquote nephew?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the nephew is not going to be the one sitting out. It's probably either
Yeah,
going to be you or Unique at the very least.
exactly. So
So you should probably have your head on the swivel.
I mean, treacherous waters, man. I don't think he really has his head on the swivel the way he needs to. I think he's a little bit blinded by hurt and grief. But I also don't think that he killed her right at this episode.
I agree.
They got
I
they
agree.
got unique in them baby mom. He got unique baby mama still, or they have unique baby mama. Um, we don't know. Stefano's going to be alive. There is going to be some sort of a war with Jersey. Uh, we got too much going on for her to be wiped off the board right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. Um yeah, no, it's going to set its way up for a interesting season 5 intro where we see I guess what happens with this. Interesting that literally everything that ends a season happens at Rock's house, but at least for the last couple seasons.
Facts. Yeah.
Okay. Any other characters we need to talk about? Snaps and Pop, maybe not so stupid because they're kind of orchestrating this whole thing, so they don't seem like the most stupid right now.
Yeah.
I
I
think that's
don't.
about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Give us your thoughts on episode 10, the finale of season 4, Power Book 3 Ghost. No, not Ghost. Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I think the next one of these we'll be rolling back is Force. So check us out when we get that going up. And as always, make sure you come around for some more reviews.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our playlist full of reviews for Power Book 2 Ghosts, Power Book 3 Raising Canaan, and Power Book 4 Force. And like you said, make sure you subscribe. We'll be here for Force. Peace.
Peace.